So today on Mainline Healthy Living, we're continuing to introduce you to our panel of guest experts one at a time. Today we have Judy Coplan, who has a background in physical therapy, but her specialty is infant massage. And I'm going to have her tell you a little bit about that. It's an interesting story. So Judy, welcome to Mainline Healthy Living.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
So Judy, tell me, first of all, a little bit about, tell me the technical information about what you do, and then we'll talk a little bit more generally so people can understand. I would never have thought of bringing an infant to get a massage. So this is going to be an interesting conversation. So.
Well, it's interesting because that's not exactly what happens.
Okay.
What happens is I go to the client's home.
Okay.
I hopefully have both parents present, and I work with a doll, and they work with the baby.
Okay, so you're teaching them how to do the massage.
I am instructing them how to work with their baby.
Okay.
And calming and bonding and massaging their baby. Because it's not like they're going to bring their baby every week for a massage.
Ah, see, I understand.
They are going to build a program in their house to whether they want to use it for calming before sleep or activity during the daytime.
Well, that's
or
great.
A variety of things. Massage is good for a myriad of issues, and it's never bad. And the baby and the parents love it, so you can't lose.
Yeah, and at what point are you starting to work with the family? I mean, are you actually prenatal or postnatal? You know?
I can work with expectant parents. I would work obviously with dolls.
Right, and preparing
them. And then if they wanted a refresher or anything like that, I could come back after the baby is born.
Okay.
Generally, in my business now, Infant Massage of the Main Line, I come when the baby's about 2 months old.
Okay.
However, when I worked in the hospital as a physical therapist, infant massage is very good with premature babies. And so obviously the baby is much younger, definitely working to the tolerance of the baby. And at that time, the parents may or may not be present, but hopefully eventually the parents would be present for that.
Well, that's great. So I was starting off with a misunderstanding that you were actually doing the massage. No, so you're a teacher, trainer, coach, helping them to be the actual person who's doing that.
Yes.
And what are some, you mentioned a little bit there, what are some of the issues that make someone want this, and what are some of the benefits to parents with a young child that why they should really be doing this?
Well, I actually learned about this from parents because when I was a young parent, which was 40 years ago, America wasn't doing infant massage.
Yeah.
When I worked at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia's neonatal intensive care unit, a lot of parents were asking me how to do infant massage, and I had to go learn about it and become certified. Because infant massage has a myriad of positive aspects.
Okay.
First of all, it's very bonding for both the parent and the child.
Especially, I'm going to guess, especially for people whose first child, because most people are freaked out.
Right.
You know, they've been preparing, but suddenly it's like, I'm going to damage this, fragile infant.
And you actually aren't.
Right. They're a lot tougher than they look.
One thing that was a little surprising to me, but I have found that dads are really a big beneficiary for this.
Okay.
Because most of my clients have been nursing mothers, so they have sort of a built-in bonding method with their baby, and the dads have been looking for what is my specialty to really bond with this baby.
That's excellent.
And at the beginning, I just had the dads present. So I say, for example, on Sunday when everybody can be home, the dads were present and they were sort of sitting on the sofa, but then they actually came down to the floor and they said, can I try some? And before we knew it, the dad was taking over the whole massage process and loving it. And he was saying, hey, this is my role.
Right.
Now I can
I've got
do
something
this.
to do. Well,
right. I can bathe the baby and then maybe massage and put them to bed. I can do something instead of just watching my wife nurse this baby.
Right, because I know that's a big issue a lot of times. People feel like they don't have a role. They feel a little helpless. They feel a little left out. So this is terrific. I love it.
It is.
So tell me a little bit about your journey to get here, because it's not where you started, right?
That's right.
Okay.
I started actually as a physical therapist. I graduated from Boston University in 1970, if you can believe that. And at the time, I worked with adults, and in physical therapy, adults understand what goals are, and they can work with you. And I gradually processed myself down to working with children.
Okay.
When I had my 3 children, and I returned to work.
Okay.
So
it was very personally relevant.
It was very personally relevant. I started working with school-age children and then younger children. And when we moved here, I went to work at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And I started working with children on ventilators, and I started working with all kinds of special issues, cardiac babies and things like that. And I eventually found my real niche, which was in the neonatal intensive care unit with premature infants and infants with surgical issues, all kinds of medical issues, congenital issues. And I really found a bond with those parents because I could help them a teeny smidgen with all the issues they were going through that were greatly negative for the most part, but I could give them a positive aspect.
Right.
And I actually just sort of fell in love with it. And once I became certified to instruct parents, I started, instead of just showing them what I was doing, I actually started instructing them personally on working on massage for their infants and how to read their infants' cues, as especially if a premature baby has had enough, they can show you, actually, I'm stressed out, don't do it right now.
They can't use their words, so yes, you have to get pretty good at reading the tea leaves.
And when I retired at 65, I said, hey, there's babies in the real world too.
Right. Go figure.
There's parents that might want to learn this as a process to use in their home. And it's really been beneficial to me. And as I said, I especially have found that dads really are enjoying this. So I really make an effort, since I am retired, to go at a time when the parents can benefit the most.
You have flexibility in terms of scheduling.
I have flexibility to schedule, yes.
Excellent. Well, what an interesting journey, and what a really valuable service that you're bringing out, because one that I have never been exposed to. So it's I'm learning. Hopefully, other people are learning through our conversation. It's great. Well, you're going to be one of our regular returning featured guests here, making great information here for Mainline Healthy Living for people who are interested. Obviously, we're going to be talking about families and kids and things like that. What are some of the topics that you and I might be Let's plant some seeds here. What are some of the topics we might cover in the future?
Well, working around all the benefits of infant massage, I noticed we're getting back to school. In fact, I got a picture of my 2 grandchildren who live in Illinois. They're already headed back to school.
Right.
So say a family has some older children, and they're getting ready, and it's all excitement about, do I have what I need? Do I have my new clothes? Do I have my new school items? But then there's a baby in the house also. And how does that baby respond to all this new hectic activity and commotion?
And they do, right?
And unruliness. If there's been a routine, or if we can introduce a routine with the parent and the baby to have some calm bonding time with infant massage, that can be a pullback, at least of one parent perhaps, of making sure this baby has a calm grounding, and it's not just all hectic and the baby just has to tolerate pull up and maybe be a little agitated more than usual, because it's such a busy time for the family.
Well, and I'm thinking there's got to be a huge benefit, even though the focus is on trying to calm the infant, but there's got to be a huge benefit to the one doing the massage, because in order to make that time, that you have to take that time in your own hectic schedule. It might be very calming if I'm the parent of that child and I've just had all that commotion, and I'm taking some time to sort of sit down and be with my infant, but in a very calm, soothing, relaxing kind of way. That's a win-win.
That is a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll talk about some of those benefits. Are there, and we might, I suppose, talk about specific situations that arise in a family. Well, you're bringing one up right now in terms of go back to school, those kind of themes that come up. And
in a more medical issue, there's a lot of women that I know coming up is breast cancer awareness.
Right.
A lot of times, if a mother has been nursing, they may have to stop nursing with breast cancer.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure of all the procedures about that, whether it's definite for all of them.
Right.
But if they do, this is another way they can re-enter a very close bonding relationship with their baby. So some of the uncomfortableness they may have, because now they have to switch over to bottle feeding.
Right.
And perhaps the baby is unhappy with that setting, and the dad may have to do the bottle feeding.
Changes in routine.
Big changing. So giving the mother a different way to be bonding and close with the baby could be really critical at a time when things are sort of upset in the family situation.
Excellent. Well, these are going to be some great topics. I'm going to really enjoy, because I can tell I'm going to learn a lot. We're going to have a lot of fun creating that and putting it out there and sharing it with people so that they can learn more about what they can be doing and how to connect with you if they want to learn how to do that.
Yes.
So Judy Coplan, thank you for being part of Mainline Healthy Living. Thank you for introducing yourself. We'll pick up and continue with lots more interesting segments. And teaching people about how to bond with their infants and their young children. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Mark. This has been wonderful for me, too.
All right.